This week, I want to cover the biggest mistake a new executive can make, and most do. That's just the way things are. So, what do I mean by a new executive? Well, by new, I mean new to the position, new to the company, could have been recruited in to a different organization, but you're new uh, regardless. And, a new executive has the wind at their back, right? You've just either been promoted or recruited into a new company, and you've got lots of ideas. You want to, uh, you know, you got this sense of power, you got this sense of control that maybe you didn't have in your previous organization or your previous position that you were in, and now you're ready to make your mark on the world. Uh, but the problem is that these executives forget um, or don't know what the rest of the employees think. So some have hope that maybe you'll be different than the person that was previously in that position. Or maybe they liked that your predecessor, and now I don't know about this new guy. Or maybe they do know you, and that's not a good thing. They may have grievances, or maybe they have ideas that are different than yours, or you know, you know, some maybe hate you from previous encounters that they've had, um, or they wanted someone else to be in that position, including themselves. They may look at it as, this is something I was up for this position, and I didn't get it. So there are a lot of obstacles that, with the wind at your back, maybe you forget to connect to. And so that's why I'm listing a few things here. But the solution that you'll often get from leadership gurus are, listen and have empathy with employees, and all of this kind of, I don't know, I like to call it ice cream sundae types of stuff. All that sugar catches up with you eventually, though. And I'm not saying that these are necessarily bad things, but I don't think that they are the things that will propel you forward in an organization. And certainly, I'm a lot more pragmatic than that uh, when coaching an executive. So, to me, the thing that you need to do is work on something together, and start with your direct reports. The people that are directly reporting to you. Maybe there's some animosity there, but if you're working on something together, then you will have something concrete that you will be able to use. And for me, when I coach executives, it's about studying your organization customer in, level setting what the customers experience when they come in contact with your organization. And you're going to have a lot of different opinions if you don't see the same things together. But ultimately, what you wind up with is a touchstone that you can use, for starting with your direct reports. As a group that you've seen, in essence, the same thing, heard the same things within your organization. And, these experiences by themselves will bring you together. You're looking at something, not worried about all the noise around of some of the things I mentioned earlier. And that way, the development of that touchstone is something you can build off of. So the other thing is, in building that touchstone, for me, and organizations I work with, it's building the customer creed. What's important to the customer? And when you're studying an organization customer in, that customer creed becomes a very important touchstone, not only for yourself and your direct reports, but really for the organization. And I wouldn't skip having them go through the same process, but start with your direct reports, to have an understanding of really what's going on, and listening and seeing how those interactions go with customers. Um, and as part of that, when developing your customer creed and studying your organization customer in, you're going to get a wonderful understanding of your organization as a system. And I've talked over and over about synthetic thinking and the importance of synthetic thinking, and be able to see the whole versus just the pieces, because this is where you get all the arguments, is when the pieces fight. But when you're looking at the whole, and the customer in approach is the only way customers see it. They don't care about your functional separation of work that you have in operations and sales and things. All they want is what they need to get out of your organization. So in the end, you'll wind up with everybody looking the same direction. They'll all be pointed at the same thing. And you know, with an understanding of how your system works, having the customer creed. So all of those things will give you some positive things to work off of, and really inform your decisions that you make in the future. So this one's relatively short this week, but I wanted to cover it because I've mentioned it before, but I wanted to have an episode on this. So again, the biggest mistake a new executive can make is just trying to make all the changes themselves. And I think this approach of working on something together is the way that you mitigate a lot of the problems that you have, and some of the hard feelings and different things that are going on in your organization's mind when you've taken over the reins of either in a new company or in a new position. That's what I wanted to cover this week. And remember, there's always a better way.